Okay, audio is working again. About time. Had to turn off OBS in order to get it working. Hey everybody, it's Crimson Zexel. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. This is a game I've been wanting to stream, particularly what I wanted to do of this game for quite some time. And in a way kind of explain some of the purpose behind the particular username I chose to go by. Also, on the note of my username, I want to thank Twitch user Flashblade, who you might have remembered from my last Pokemon Sword stream, for providing the logo that you see above me. He made that himself in the middle of that Pokemon Sword stream, and I decided to implement it into my layout, so thank you for that. Here's hoping some people decide to jump into the chat, because what I plan to be doing is going to be kind of repetitive and will open a lot of room for discussion, some one-on-one conversations, in a sense, between me and all of you, hopefully, if you're watching. On that note, let me send out a message being like, hey, stream is back on. And there. Just making sure everyone gets the memo. Alrighty. So, with that, hey, Army, good to see you there in the chat. Users in chat certainly seems to not be showing what I would be seeing live normally, so that's going to be a bit of a conundrum, because I won't be able to tell who is in my chat unless you talk, so do try to keep that up, especially considering what we're about to do. So, I've been playing this game personally for quite some time, just getting my hands on plenty of cards from which I can build decks around. Played through the story campaigns of the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, just so I can build up enough of a pool of cards from which to build decks. The two campaigns I chose not to do so that I could stream them was Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's and Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. Both of them being kind of relevant because 5D's is, in my opinion, not only my personal favorite of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-offs, and arguably even better than the original, and Arc 5, I, at one point, had a bit of relevance in the early stages of, well, I can at least say that there's at least one video on the YouTube channel Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything where I was actually featured in giving my opinion in a duel of a theoretical match between Seto Kaiba from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And his Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's counterpart, Jack Atlas. So, with that being said, let's actually get into the mix, because there are plenty of cards from this series that I not only have wanted to be able to use in decks, but that I also... what am I trying to say? There are just a ton of synchro cards that I adore and have not been able to use because some of them are just locked behind the campaign and the duelist challenges of the characters in here. So once these duels get started, I'm going to need some... Well, I suppose those of you in chat right now can come up with some questions to ask me while I duel. That way, some of the monotony of what we're going to be doing doesn't take forever. Because this is going to take a while. Because I also plan to get as many copies of every card available through this campaign and the Duelist challenges for 5D's as I can. So get ready for that. So without further ado, ready, set, duel. Now loading 5D's histories. Actually the screen is very, very tiny on my end, so reading is going to be a bit of a challenge unless I make this bigger. Okay. Duelists young and old, professional and amateur alike. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Welcome to Neo Domino City. That's its Japanese name. Welcome to New Domino City, home of turbo dueling. Turbo duels are a new form of dueling that takes place on motorcycles called duel runners. However, our story does not begin in New Domino City. We join our hero Yusei Fudo in the poorer outskirts, known as Satellite. Yusei was... dang it, still tiny text. What is going on? Because you can see it easy, I can't. Yusei was wronged by the undefeated turbo dueling champion, Jack Atlas. The two were once friends, but Jack stole Yusei's two most prized possessions, the Stardust Dragon card and his custom duel runner. Again, this is basically just a synopsis of sorts of what was going on throughout the series, just to get to the actual action of it. Jack left Satellite and became the turbo dueling champion for New Domino City. Yusei wanted to confront Jack, but unfortunately, Sector Security, the police force of the Satellite, kept getting in his way. Yusei's friend Rally found a... Dang it all with tiny text and very specific stuff, dang it all. There we go. Yusei's friend Rally found a Skylon 30 acceleration chip. Yusei needed this chip badly for the new duel runner he was building. Yusei! Hey Yusei! Check this out! It's a Skylon 30 acceleration chip. Aren't those incredibly expensive? Don't tell me you stole this. I didn't steal nothing. It was just lying on the ground in broad daylight. Okay, thanks. This is just what I needed. I knew you'd like it. Will it make your duel runner faster? Absolutely. Unfortunately, Sector Security had tracked Rally and quickly closed in on Yusei and his friends. So it was up to Yusei to confront Sector Security and get his friends out of trouble. I knew I should have locked you up when you were a kid. Looks like I'll finally get my wish. Are you going to make this easy and come along quietly? I will, if you can beat me. You've got yourself a deal. Fool. Okay, so answering the question you posed, Army, sorry about not getting to that sooner. Wait, so how does this game work? Is it like the card game, but in video game form? Yes. To some extent. It hasn't been updated quite a bit in some time, and there isn't expected to be any kind of an update until the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam releases of Link Evolution sometime later this year. Because that's when we're going to be getting a ton of new cards, and I have no idea whether or not the new rule sets coming out in April are going to be implemented, because if that update includes the Master Rule 5 updates coming out with the new series of cards for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, that's going to be incredible, because that's going to put Turbo Synchro decks back on the map, as well as Turbo Xyz, Turbo Fusion. It's just gonna be crazy. So this is basically the duel that is the tutorial level for Synchro decks. So if you've ever not necessarily known how synchro monsters and tuners work, hopefully this explains it. So, synchro monsters are monster cards in your extra deck with white card frames. Like fusion monsters, they're kept in the extra deck, as I mentioned, and to summon them, you're going to need at least one tuner and one or more non-tuners. Tuner monster has the word tuner in its card name right next to its monster type, and right after its monster type and right before what kind of card it is. Any other monster that does not have tuner in its name is considered a non-tuner. So to synchro summon it, again, one tuner or one or more non-tuners on the field unless an effect specifies otherwise. The combined level of the tuner is combined with the levels of any and all non-tuners you decide to use, and to summon a synchro monster, the levels have to add up to the level of the synchro monster you want. So do take note that a monster has to be face up on the field to be used as synchro material. So main phase of normal turn go, just send the tuner and non-tuner synchro materials to the graveyard. A synchro monster comes out of the deck as a synchro summon. But again, a tuner monster is always needed for a synchro. Alright, so starting off with us, it's going to guide us all the way through, unfortunately, so we're going to be setting Speed Warrior face down, and then Magic Cylinder. Pretty simple play. Like, that is a clear and obvious trap. But knowing what is in the deck of Tetsuo Trudge, traps are gonna be kind of difficult to pull off with ease. Okay, so simple enough, Magic Cylinder play. So feel free to keep the conversation going, Army, because I would think from your question that you have some relative interest in the game. Crimson is gonna destroy the tutorial. Oh no. So synchro material will be needed to get the ball rolling. So special summoning the Tricky by discarding any of our Nitro Synchrons. Pretty simple. Be on the safe side. Oh, it's calling for attack position. Dang it. Monsters need to be face up to synchro summon, yada yada yada. So we're going to be flip summoning Speed Warrior. And then summoning Junk Synchron on the offensive. You can see here that Junk Synchron will allow you to special summon a monster from your graveyard. Activate the effect of Junk Synchron and special summon Nitro Synchron. Okay, I think I see what it's doing. Level 5, and then... Oh, I think this is trying to go for a tag team play of both Junk Warrior and Nitro Warrior. And sorry about the audio, guys. See the effect on your extra deck? We now have the materials available to perform a synchro summon. So, summoning a Junk Synchron, using its required materials. I actually have no idea how Yu-Gi-Oh! Works. Well, this is going to be interesting, then. So this is all new to me. Yeah. Fusion stuff was kind of easier, fortunately. And it really won't be long until this game is on every currently available gaming platform. And with a heck of an update to boot for both Switch users and users of any other gaming platform. So, wait a second, you can't... Not? Well, I don't know. Synchro summoning again, we're going to be using Nitro Synchron to summon Nitro Warrior off of Junk Warrior. I was originally thinking the logic of a multi-synchro monsters kind of deal like back in the 5D's days, but the extra monster zone, for the time being, is the only place where fusions, synchros, and Xyz monsters can be, as well as links. Okay, so Nitro Synchron, Junk Warrior, go. Don't have a spell card, so we can't take advantage of that effect. Oh, but we get to draw 2 cards. So that's excellent. How long has this game been out? In an international sense, since August, but Japan had it as far back as like last March. So this has been out for a couple of months. I think Konami had a deal on this game a couple weeks back too. Summon Junk Warrior. Oh. And if you're summoning from the extra deck, just as a reminder, monsters from the extra deck must go to the extra monster zone. Anything revived from the graveyard that was a card from the extra deck can be summoned to the main monster zones below. Like so. Okay. So now Nitro Warrior is going to get a power boost because once during each of your turns, activating a spell card lets Nitro Warrior's next attack have an extra 1,000 attack points. So we'll lead the charge with Nitro Warrior against Montage Dragon, because that beats out its over 3,000 attack points. Followed up with Junk Warrior and the Tricky. Victory! Ah! There goes my promotion. Guess I'm going back to being a dual runner meter maid. So with that, we have unlocked a deck avatar for him. The next campaign duel, a deck recipe for him. His booster pack in the rest of the game modes. And then a couple of cards he has. So Jute Fighters, Daijian Sergeants, and Montage Dragon. And I'm really hoping the cards he has don't take forever to unlock, because eventually we'll be doing that. Destroyed. So now, let's get fighting Jack. Yusei escaped Trudge and the other sector security forces, making his way into New Domino City. There, he came face to face with his rival, Jack Atlas. Jack had stolen Yusei's ace card, Stardust Dragon. Using Stardust Dragon, Jack was able to escape Satellite and establish himself as the undefeated Turbo Dueling champion of New Domino City. Welcome to the Kaiba Dome. This dual dome is impressive, isn't it? Television just doesn't do it justice. Now, imagine it filled with thousands of adoring fans chanting your name and cheering you on. But that's something you're never going to experience, you say. Because after this duel, the only people cheering you on will be your loser friends back in the Satellite. That's if they don't all turn their backs on you once you return without their Stardust Dragon. Huh? You're going to regret ever coming here because I'm going to beat you with your own card. Sounds like something else? In the sense of what? Guys, I'm trying as best as I can to replicate the original English accent of the character, albeit not completely accurate to him. Let's try and find a deck that I think will work. Anything I made? Noble Knights. That should work. So this deck specifically does have elements of synchro summoning in it, as well as at least one Link monster and plenty of Xyz monsters, so you're gonna see kind of the extent to which some of the more advanced summoning mechanics of this card game get to. Alright. Time to get back a Stardust Dragon. So, simple game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who goes first. Jack gets to decide. So we are going second. Alright. Started then. So what strategy do you have in mind? Oh yeah, still add Raigeki in here. So Clock Resonator. And a face down. There's the slight chance that changes that thing's battle position, so I want to brace for that. Draw a card. What do I get to do? I'll hold off on using Twin Twisters just yet. Because that can get rid of his face down. You've activated my trap card. Oh, you'll see in due time. Soul Charge. I have not seen these cards in quite some time. I've been using an Exodia deck mainly to help get cards at a faster rate, so this is all still kind of new. Can't reconnect this if I use it. Or can I? Okay, so Noble Knight Madrot, inspired by the Arthurian Knight Mordred. Okay. Excalibur. Equip you. Now for the fun to really get started. So activate effect. Now I get to special summon any of these guys from my deck in exchange for destroying an equip spell card like Excalibur. So who would I like to have? Let's go with Artorius, or Arthur himself. So there goes Excalibur. And now, for my extra deck, I can summon either a Link monster or an Xyz monster. Add a warrior. Yeah, let's go with Isolde. It's a pretty simple mechanic, in a sense, for Link monsters. Just send any number of monsters that meet the requirements of a Link monster, in this case, 2 warrior monsters, to the graveyard, summon a Link monster from your extra deck. So, with Isolde's effect, I will be adding... Where is he? Ugh, I don't think I have him. Dang it. Let's hope this works out later. Okay. Mirror Force set. I don't know. What are the restrictions? Okay, so I wouldn't be able to special summon this back this turn, so no sense in trying to revive it. I can at least try hitting with Raigeki. Okay. That clears that. Here's hoping this isn't a trap. Or a trap that's going to bite me in the butt. Space Gate. So each time a monster your opponent controls attacks or is attacked, place 1 gate counter on this card at the end of the damage step. During your main phase, send this card to the graveyard. Special summon one monster from your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of gate counters on this card. So with this, he'd only be able to special summon one level 1 monster afterwards. Okay. So we're good for now. We at least have something to counteract if he summons anything with more than 1600 attack points. So yeah, Jack is about to activate my trap card. Unless he does that. Sinister Sprocket, that's not good. Not if he gets the chance to summon with it. Okay. What to do? Because activating Soul Charge is gonna get rid of my battle phase. Do I have any Xyz monsters that could help out? Theoretically, yes. If I brought out one of my Xyz monsters. Jack is too clever for the meme. Eh, at least not yet. I could... Nah. No, that doesn't work. Not without the Soul Charge playing. Dang it. I'm gonna have to use it then. Okay, Soul Charge. Bring back Artorias and Madrat. And to be honest, this would be going by so much faster if I was just using my Exodia deck, but I wanted to at least demonstrate some of the mechanics of the game itself. So, Artorias there. And Madrat here. So, no battle phase, unfortunately. But I can definitely Xyz summon off of this. Only question is what now? Okay, now for Artorias, King of the Noble Knights. So, to explain Xyz monsters, any two monsters with the exact same number of levels, so 2 level 4s for example, can be stacked on top of each other to summon an Xyz monster with a rank star count the same as the level star count of the monsters used. So, since 2 level 4 monsters were used, this could come out onto the field, a rank 4 monster. Of course, he has no spells, so no need to activate that. The reason specifically why a monster from the extra deck was able to be summoned onto the field outside the extra monster zone is because of those little arrows on my Link monster, Isolde. Because of those arrows, those zones can be treated as extra monster zones while that Link monster is face up. So that, in a sense, kind of explains that. But I do have a graveyard effect I can activate. The effect of Noble Arms Excalibur. So during during my turn, except the turn it was originally sent to the graveyard, I can banish Noble Arms Excalibur from play so that I can target a Noble Knight Xyz monster I control and summon from my extra deck another one with a different name, using that target and any materials attached to it as Xyz material for the summon. Kind of confusing to understand unless you know firsthand. So, Excalibur out of play, like permanently, unless I have something to bring it back. Use Artorias and all of its attached Xyz material, and I get to summon Sacred Noble Knight of King Artorias. I feel like there's so much to remember in this. Oh, it's kind of confusing, believe me. Unless you played it for years. Or watch the animes. It makes a lot of sense from the anime. Does it just come naturally once you've played the game a lot, or do you forget things sometimes? It kind of comes naturally once you've started playing the games. The only thing I myself haven't figured out yet is a lot of the stuff with link monsters, like co-linking. It's kind of confusing at the moment. But now that I think about it, I really should have activated Isolde's effect before now. Maybe. Unless I can still use it. So normally, if our King Artorias were to be Xyz summoned, I would have been able to target up to 3 Noble Arms equipped spells in my graveyard and equip them to him. But because I forgot to activate Isolde's effect ahead of time, I don't have a bunch of Noble Arms cards to draw from. At least not yet. So, Noble Arms of Destiny, Noble Arms Arfiduder, Noble Arms Galatine, and Noble Arms Caliburn. For 1 level 4 monster. Let's go Bedivere. Let's activate Bedivere's effect on top of that. When normal or special... which effect am I activating right now? I think it's the send one from your deck to your graveyard effect. So Bedivere... have I used it yet? Oh, dang it. I don't know. Oh, wait. It's strange. I don't know why Bedivere's effect can't be used right now. It's odd. But we can activate the effect of the Noble Knight Brothers. So we can select any number of Noble Arms cards in our graveyards, shuffle them back into our deck, and then draw a card. Sorry about any audio issues with the game. It's really strange, I'll admit. So, we have Merlin on deck. So, if we can get him out onto the field, we can either tribute him to special summon a Noble Knight monster from our deck, in exchange for being unable to special summon anything else except for Noble Knight monsters, or while he's in the graveyard, we can banish him during either player's turn to immediately Synchro Summon or Xyz Summon with monsters we control. Kind of useful. But under our current conditions... trying to think how to do this. So let's overlay Bedivere and Noble Knight Brothers. Summon out the original Artorias again. Give something of a proper demonstration of what this thing can do. To some extent. So, from the graveyard, re-equip Galatine and Caliburn, which offer an extra 1,500 attack points. So there's one, there's the other. The audio's still going good for you in the army. Sorry. Free once per turn effect. Caliburn can give you 500 extra light points, so that's always neat. What is going on with the audio? Okay, disconnecting my capture card for just a brief moment just to correct the audio. And audio's still alright for you? You're not getting like all the static I am? Game audio is quiet, but it's not that bad. Give me a second. I'll actually try to fix that. Because for whatever reason, the capture card is just going on the fritz right now. And now. Audio is no longer okay. Oh gosh. How about now? Is it okay now? But it's really quiet and not noticeable. How about now? Like, is it okay now in the sense? Is it not okay? I'm just curious about something. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of frame drop too. Much better now? Okay. Good to know. Alright. So, let's try a bit of a trick play here. Because this is only going to work if it does what I think it's about to do. So the unique effect, stuttering a little bit, sorry about that, Army. So, interesting thing about the Noble Arms equip spells. Once per turn, if they would be destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target any one Noble Knight monster on the field and equip those cards in the graveyard to the monster. The effect of Artorias, King of the Noble Knights, is that by detaching an Xyz material, he can destroy any number of spell and trap cards on the field up to the number of Noble Arms equipped spells I control. Jack doesn't have any spell or traps. I do. So I'm going to be destroying my own equipped spells. The stuttering. I'm so sorry. I wish I could upgrade my capture card. So Galatine to King Artorias, as well as Caliburn. Problem solved! Kind of the absurdity of this deck, to be honest. Caliburn and Galatine. That puts King Artorias up to 3,700 attack points. Plus, since this Caliburn was sent to the graveyard and brought back, its once per turn life point gain effect is allowed to repeat again. No. Alright. So now for the effect of King Artorias. And the audio is now sounding much better on my end. Hope it's sounding better for you, Army. That was an interesting play, but it worked. Yeah, that's kind of the hilarity of Noble Knights. You don't think it's going to work, but somehow some plays just do. I've pulled off a good number of comebacks off of Noble Knights against these CPUs. It's been incredible. So, effective King Artorias. By detaching an Xyz material, I can target one other monster on the field and destroy it. So, because I know just how dangerous Sinister Sprocket is going to be for me later, I'm going to get rid of one of Artorias' materials. And I'm going to destroy Sinister Sprocket. Simple enough process. And of course, since I cannot conduct my battle phase this turn, I gotta just end the turn. So yeah, bit of a workaround to get Sinister Sprocket out of the way, but it worked. Audio's still kind of bugged here and there. So 2 face downs and a battle phase. Oh, one other thing about that Noble Arms Galatine. It does provide 1,000 attack points to whatever warrior monster it's equipped to, but every standby phase that monster loses 200 attack points. Still can't use Twin Twisters. That is not relevant at the moment. But Merlin can be. So I'll get rid of Merlin with his effect to special summon. Let's go with Lonzelin, or Lancelot, to you Arthurian legend buffs. Gain 500 life points, just help me get back to 8,000. No sense in trying to use that just yet. Soul's effect can't work. And I'd rather hold off on using that last material of King Artorias until there's potentially something bigger in my way. So, let's just head into the battle phase. Let's start with you, Isolde. What has Jack been hiding? So there is his freaking clock resonator. Let's hope the other one isn't. Okay, it's a healthy skull. That is pretty manageable. Also, that is a once per turn immunity, so we can go in for the second attack on Clock Resonator and then swing for 3,500. So, if all goes well this next turn, should be a clean game. Oh, great. What happened to the audio? Okay. There we go, I hope. Face down monster, probably, very likely another Clock Resonator. Ooh, the field spell. Is it frame drops that's causing this? Hold on. Yeah, it totally is. CPU is really, really high at the moment. I just don't know what it is. I swear, if it's because my brothers are on the internet right now, I'm gonna lose it. Jack is getting dominated, yes, because Noble Knights are that effective of a deck if you know what you're doing. So our King of Torgius powers down just a bit more. And now to introduce the field spell card of the archetype, the Noble Knights of the Round Table. The effects of this card probably won't go active until the end of this turn, which we're probably not going to get to see, but as a bit of a demonstration, during the end phase, each of this field spell's effects can be activated up to once per turn, depending on the total number of Noble Knight cards with different names that you control or are in your graveyard. With 3 or more, you can send a Noble Knight card from your deck to your graveyard. 5 or more lets you special summon a Noble Knight from your hand, and then equip a Noble Arms Equip spell from your hand to it. 9 or more monsters means you can target 1 Noble Knight monster in your graveyard and add that card to your hand, and 12 Noble Knight cards maximum lets you draw a card. All 4 of those can be activated once per turn and in whatever sequence you want. So, for example, with the 3 or more effect, you could send a Noble Knight from your deck to your graveyard. With the 9 or more effect, you can take that monster you just sent from your deck to your graveyard and add it to your hand. And then with the 6 or more effect, you can special summon that monster immediately. Or you could do any combination of stuff. This field spell is ridiculously useful. And right now, the total number of Noble Knight monsters and cards on my field and in my graveyard are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I could get that special summoning effect pretty easily, as well as the deck milling ability of just sending a monster to the graveyard from my deck. But since it's pretty much a free game anyway, Plastic Seas material, blow up his face down, no need for Mirror Force, was another small piece golem, battle phase. I probably should have used the life point gaining effect just so to round it out 8,000, but whatever. Game over! And audio is still freaking out because CPU is being a pain. Watch, I delete the 3 tabs of Google Chrome I have and it goes back to normal. Watch. Okay. There. So it's just OBS open right now. And yet the audio stuttering is still going. You want to cool it, CPU? Okay. Relatively. Dang it. This is just becoming a pain. Let's just switch over to the other monitor then. Yusei and Jack's duel had summoned forth a massive flaming dragon. Everyone seemed shocked except for one man, Rex Goodwin, the head of Sector Security. What is that? Is that a dragon? What kind of trick is this, Yusei? The mighty beast has emerged from its slumber. What's happening to my body? I've never seen this glowing mark on my arm before. What? I'm not the only one with a mark. So you know what this is, Jack? You do, don't you? Jack, say something. What's going on? You were in violation of Code 36B, which states that no residents of Satellite might enter New Domino City. It says Neo Domino City now. What the heck? By order of the Social Maintenance Department, we are placing you under arrest. Do not try to run. We have you surrounded. Oh man, got no escape. Even if I did manage to get away, I still don't know what that mark on my arm was. So, again, kind of the developments of this particular Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-off. Dang it with the audio! Capture card. Work with me. Can you tell how much I would like an Elgato at this point? I haven't even streamed for an hour and this is going on. What if I switch to another means of audio capture? What then? You willing to work now, audio? Okay. So, next campaign, the reverse duel of this, so we could play as Jack, using his deck or one deck of our own. A Jack Atlas avatar. Where's the freaking audio? Now it's all gone. Give me a second. Gonna try getting the audio back. Dang it all. Don't know why this keeps happening for no apparent reason. Sorry about that. Okay, bit of stuttering. Thank you, maybe. Okay, audio is fixed. Sorry about that, Army. So Dark Resonator, Synchro Deflector, and Space Gate. I don't know. I'm gonna need to figure out audio encoding for next stream because it's dead again. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, do I need to just shut down OBS again? Start the stream over? Just to get audio working? Apparently it's too much of a freaking undertaking just to get game audio. At least with this capture card. Okay, game audio is back. Why does it keep dying? I don't know. I really don't know why it keeps dying randomly. Like that. Like it works for maybe a good 10 seconds and then dies immediately. It's still going good on your end there, Army? Because it's not on mine, because I can hear what you're probably hearing. Dumbest part is there are no notifications coming from OBS to tell me that there are dropped frames, that there's an encoding overload. Nothing. It's just nothing. Like, what I would not give to have the money to get an Elgato at this point. Just so that the audio freaking works like it's supposed to. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I can tell. Because the sound is briefly there and then gone. Want to work now there, capture card? And it died again. It's like, I do one thing. Maybe split this up, shut down the stream temporarily, start it up again as number 2. I wonder how much a used Elgato would cost. I would hope it's lightly used because I want an Elgato that just works. Because otherwise it's just a headbutting with my capture card all over again. So stick around for just a second, Army. I'm just gonna quickly shut down the stream, reboot it. Well, turn the stream off, close and reopen OBS, rename the stream, and then go from there. Sound good? All right. Shutting down now.